Winter is finally here. Welcome back to the Feminist Frame in this special edition Game of Obsessions. We will be podcasting about the newest and unfortunately last season of Game of Thrones every week. Tune in for our predictions, breakdowns, and theories about your favorite drama. And episode 1 of season 8 of Game of Thrones just dropped. And I'm here with my co-host, Olivia.
Howdy.
To discuss what we thought and all of our predictions for the final season. I'm Aubrey, and thanks for joining us. So, getting started, what did you think?
Obviously, I loved it. I don't really know if there's another answer for that.
Wow, how unexpected.
So much anticipation built, and I think they could have probably done anything, and I still would have absolutely loved it. I mean, we had our wine bottles that were, house specific.
We should talk about our watch party,
hot pies. We had dragon's eggs, all the things.
I went to Inns at the Crossroads and printed out a template so that I could make the direwolf bread, and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it looked like the direwolf bread in the show. For sure.
I did not use their recipe, though. I used Benching with Babish, which is, if you've never heard of, really awesome. I just discovered this as I was looking up direwolf bread recipes. And he makes YouTube videos and is a chef and makes all these things from shows like the Ratatouille from Ratatouille and whatnot.
And the direwolf bread, but he makes them better.
Yes. He made the actual direwolf bread and then he made it better, and I followed his better recipe, and it was good. So, yeah, check that out, because I went down quite a rabbit hole Saturday night when I discovered this YouTube channel, and it's pretty awesome for a bunch of fan nerds like us. But yeah, no, we had a little watch party. I made sure to bring a carafe to pour my wine out of, and
seems like the appropriate way to drink wine.
Yeah, and had our drinking game going. John managed not to drop Longclaw the whole episode.
Yeah, we just gotta wait for episode 3 for that one. So,
congrats, buddy. No, really though, I was really impressed. It was a pretty satisfying first episode. I feel like a lot of times there's a lot of setup and not a lot happening, but stuff happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of setup. I think that they got rid of all of the, sort of first interactions with the reunions. They got all of those out of the way, so we can just get to the meat of the issues in the next one. So there still is that setup. But we do get some interesting information that is finally revealed to some of our characters.
Hella reunions and so much side-eye.
Oh, yeah, all the shade.
We adjusted our drinking game for drinking with side-eye because, wow, was there a lot of it. One of the things I noticed right off the bat was the new map. I was geeking out about that a lot in the intro.
That was pretty awesome. I loved how it started from the north with the wall broken.
Yeah, kind of the White Walker perspective with the they are coming. That is what this season is about.
And sort of following them down, and kind of doing the reverse that we normally
to the last hearth, and it's kind of everything else is cut out. I mean, they focus on where they are that episode always in the intro, but it's none of these other house seats matter. All that matters is who's on the path.
I don't know. It was really cool, and I kind of wish that I had the time and patience to sit there and break it down, because I know they just riddle that thing full of secrets and foreshadows and all that jazz.
Oh yeah, we'll leave that to better nerds than us. But the fact that they also went into Winterfell, and
I've never seen them quite doing
the
into the buildings like they did.
Yeah, it was crazy, and you didn't even have time to ruminate and all of that, because then the episode just starts with a bang. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these shots too we did see in the trailer, so we kind of knew some of them were coming. So all the reunions, I did and this was in the trailer, but they did pay homage to episode 1 with that big procession into Winterfell, but with Jon and Dany this time, and Arya watching as an adult.
Oh, and the little boy was running around Arya was running around trying to get a better look. I didn't really know. I was just like, do I know this boy? And then kind of realized what was happening. And I was like, oh, okay.
Just random little boy being impressed. And a random little boy, I hope, survives.
Yeah, hopefully
you're like,
we don't see him again.
So cute. Like, you're probably going to die because everyone's going to. No, and the Arya and Jon reunion,
all the feels.
All the feels.
It was finally
7 seasons.
I love their little, I don't know, comfort with each other and just kind of joy that, you know, they're both still living.
He did like immediately try to talk shit about Sansa though, and she was just like, nope, I'm on Team Stark, and Sansa's Team Stark, and he was like, whoa.
Yeah, I did love how she stood up for her sister, and
well,
like,
and you can tell that like they probably spent a lot of time complaining about Sansa together because
for sure, like he said, like, you know, something to the effect of like, you were never a big Sansa fan or something like that,
right?
So.
But you know, now we know, like, no more this sisterly inward fighting bullshit. The Starks are together, and her little reminder too, like, hey, you're also a Stark, don't forget it. And then, you know, the big unsaid part is there too, you're also a Stark, because we all know he's about to find out he's actually a Targaryen, but you know, Lyanna Stark's blood is half his also.
Yeah, and I definitely thought that could also go for like, and also remember Sansa's your sister. Like, like she's here, you know, like to support you and protect you. Like, don't let like this queen that you're traveling with like go to your head.
I actually didn't take that as Arya knowing, just being like,
it just
was a good reminder before he finds out this information.
You're part of our family, but
yeah, but I do think that like, hey, I know this new queen's real hot and she's got dragons, but try to keep your head on your shoulders.
Like, let's stick together here.
Right, exactly. Jon and Bran also had a little reunion, which was very heartful on one side. Bran still being creepy and useless.
I love all of the Bran robot memes because they're so true.
Beep, boop, Bran bot. I know, I think I couldn't help but like make the joke while we're watching, like, activate, emotion, failure. Like, what is going on? Like, is this what the directors want from him?
Always just hovering. It's so creepy.
Because I've been rewatching and I'm like, oh, remember when Bran was a person? Whatever. And then just being like, listen, Sam, I thought about it and I haven't been doing enough nothing, so you should definitely tell him.
Oh, yeah. Totally shoving that shit off. Like,
God, like the one thing that you could bother doing. But it is like, it is really important coming from Sam.
Well, like Bran says, like, you know, you're his brother. Like, yeah. And that's true because Bran is a robot.
And before we talk about that scene, the Sansa and Tyrion reunion was also satisfying, but I thought it was going to be warmer. Mm-hmm. You know, like he was always pretty nice to her considering.
Yeah, but she kind of left him in a real tight spot too.
Well, that's why, but like she was the one who was cold. Yeah. But I think it's just because
he came with
if he
Dany.
would have come alone, yeah, it would have been fine. But he came as the hand of another queen, and she was like, no. I don't got time for this. Also, throwing shade because, yeah, like, oh, you believed Cersei? You idiot. Like, what were you thinking?
I love how that is, like, I don't know, like Sansa keeps, like, harping on that, like, with everybody she's running into. Like, oh, you believe Cersei. Like, cool. Get it through your head. Cersei is lying to you.
And nobody should know that more than Tyrion.
Right.
I mean, with the exception of maybe Sansa, but Tyrion's been around her his whole life.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember if it was something Sansa said to Tyrion or to somebody else, but it was about Cersei, like maybe Tyrion, maybe Jon, but like she does mention something about, you know, like she will say whatever she needs to say to get you to do whatever she wants you to do or whatever. Right. And I just kept thinking like, oh, like the baby that she told everybody she had.
And everybody believed that too.
I know. I just thought that was like a nice foreshadowing
Reminder,
into the fact that she's not pregnant. She is not going to have another baby.
She just wanted you guys to feel bad for her. But, yeah, that was a really important moment. Also part of, like, Sansa's come up. And, like, are we seeing the downfall of Tyrion? Because for a long time, and we're going to talk about our death predictions, but he was, like, always on my most likely to make it out list. Mm-hmm. But he seems to be stumbling a lot lately, and I personally kind of blame that on Dan and Dave not actually knowing how to write him without the help of George R. R. Martin. Yeah. But I just kind of wonder, like, does he not really have a place in this new world, and are we starting to see him make poor decisions and just, you know, I think the slow-moving downfall?
I think he might still have a stumbling blocks, but, like, I don't know, there's nothing he's doing that's either, you know, like, just a terrible, like, immoral decisions making, you know, and he's still thinking through things. So I think in the long run, like, maybe he might be hoodwinked, but he might still come through in the end there.
No, well, and then, but he did get it up in front of the entire North and be like, yep, Cersei's coming with the Lannister army. And
yeah, he's going to be made look like a big old fool.
Yeah, and especially to Dany, who he only recently won over. But I almost wonder, though, too, is this them doing what they did with the dumb-ass Sansa and Arya storyline in Season 7, where they're just, like, putting him back down so they can bring him up, you know what I mean? Because they don't really have anywhere else to go. Who knows? We'll see, but Sansa throwing shade was lots of fun. And speaking of Lannisters, man, the not so warm reunion, Jaime and Bran at the end.
I just love the look of sheer, I don't even know what it was on Jaime's face, like panic, like just concern, horror, worry, like,
oh shit. I don't know if you saw somebody on Twitter, some beautiful little Twitter angel edited that whole sequence and put the Black Eyed Peas, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Like, it's like all leading into the song, which got stuck in my head. As that's going on and they're just looking at each other, I highly recommend it.
They should think about putting that on their soundtrack.
They really should, because it fit so perfectly. It was incredible. So, obviously, you know, one of the biggest moments. Jon finally knows. He knows who he is. Oh.
That was seasons payoff right there.
Yeah.
Finally getting the news to him.
The whole entire show payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been wondering since the beginning who the hell his mother is. Well, now you got to know who your daddy is, too. Your real daddy.
I did really enjoy at the end of the episode, you know how they have the, like, let's talk about a little bit about the episode piece. They're saying they decided to, like, play out that whole thing on Jon Snow's face.
Yeah.
Instead of kind of going back and forth between him and Sam. And I thought that was a really awesome decision because it's, like, subtle, like, mood shifts, and he's just kind of like, it's all just raining down on him, trying to figure out what all this means.
Yeah, and you can hear the emotion in Sam's voice. Like, he's still doing a good job with his part, but you just get to see these, like, layers of, like, you're not a bastard. You're, you know, Ned's not your father. He's your uncle. And, like,
you're actually a Targaryen and, like, and legitimate.
And, you know, the immediate, like, of course you're going to have, like, a defensive kind of reaction. Like, what the fuck are you telling me? And so his first thing to go through is, like, he would lie to me my entire life. And, like, yeah, to save you, he would.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, you know, Ned made a promise. So he is, like, honorable. So lying isn't really his thing. But if it means saving his nephew and honoring the promise he made to his sister on her deathbed, he's gonna do it.
I did also, so I think they revealed that he's Aegon Targaryen or whatever, and I know it's been bugging me, so I, like, had to look it up because Rhaegar's other son was also called Aegon.
Yeah.
But, like, they were talking about, like, you know, the theories of, like, well, an Aegon will sit on the throne. And then, like, since Rhaegar and Lyanna were together,